Hello students, I welcome you all to EPG Parshala. I am Dr. P. A. Rajeshwari, Assistant Professor in the Department of Food Science and Nutrition, Avinashalingam Institute for Home Science and Higher Education for Women, Coimbatore. Today we are going to see about the module Structure of Rice. Food is the prime necessity of life. The food we eat is digested and assimilated in the body and used for its maintenance and growth. Food also provides energy for doing work. The food we consume is in the form of grains, fruits, vegetables, nuts, pulses, oil seeds, animal flesh and their products. But grains form the main staple in many parts of the world. Wheat and rice are the most important among the staple foods consumed all over the world, especially in Asia. They can also be stored for longer period in silos or milled to produce flour or pressed for oil. Rice is the seed of grass family Oryza sativa. It is known by different names in different area, like Latin it is called as Oryza, in Greek it is called as rice, Tamil it is called as arasi, and in Hindi it is called as chaval, etc. The name rice is derived from the French term rice. Since it is the major crop consumed worldwide, it is estimated that 1/5 of the calories consumed by human beings worldwide is from rice, thereby arising the necessity for improving the knowledge about rice. This module will educate the learner about the structure of rice grain. The objectives of this module are to gain knowledge regarding the rice grain and its types and cultivation, the structure of rice grain and the different processing methods, their changes and the products from rice grain. Rice is grown as an annual crop. Rice is the third highest worldwide produced crop, ranging 741.5 million tons. Rice cultivation is favored in areas of more rainfall and it requires large amount of water. The method of cultivation involves setting the seeds in the field followed by flooding the field with water. The rice is submerged under the water. The fertility of the soil determines the height of the paddy, which may vary from 1 to 2.5 meters. The edible portion of the plant is the seed. Let us now see about the types of rice grain. There are many varieties of rice cultivated across the globe. According to the distribution, there is variation in the type of rice consumed in different regions. According to one classification, rice grain is divided based on its length into long, medium and short rice grains. The long grains are mostly cultivated in the East and Southeast Asia. They are rich in amylose and are dry and less sticky compared to medium and short grains. The long rice grain is used in the preparation of special dishes like pulao, fried rice, etc. The medium-sized grains are rich in amylopectin and these grains are sticky. They are used in day-to-day preparations. The short grain rice is used to cook desserts and puddings. The grains also occur in variety of colors like white, brown, red, black and purple. Let us have an overview at the structure of rice grain. The overall structure of rice grain is similar with a difference in the germ, bran and endosperm percentage. The structure of rice grain shows a protective layer called the hull and the carapace portion. This carapace can further be divided into the outer layers of pericarp or bran, seed coat and nucleus, the germ and the endosperm. Weight distribution in rice is constituted by hull up to 20%, pericarp 1 or 2%, germ 1%, seed coat and nucleus 5%, aileron layer 7%, and the endosperm constituting about 90%. The endosperm is the largest portion with starch granules embedded in them. Pigments are present only in pericarp layer and responsible for the color of rice. It comprises of an outer thin epidermis and inner thick hypodermis. The innermost layer tears open during ripening to form tube cells. The aileron layer can vary from 1 to more cell layers. It surrounds the endosperm. It is thicker in dorsal side and thin in ventral side and thicker in short grain and thin in long grain rice varieties. The aileron layer contains cubical cells. The aileron and germ is rich in protein bodies and lipid bodies. The protein bodies contain globoids and phytate. The endosperm consists of the aileron layer and the endosperm proper. This endosperm proper can be divided into sub-aileron layer and the starchy endosperm. The endosperm cells are thin-walled and packed containing starch granules. The sub-aileron layer are rich in protein and lipids. They have smaller amyloplasts, that is the binders, and compound starch granules. The starch granules are polyhedral, measuring 3 to 9 micrometer. The protein occurs in the form of spherical protein bodies throughout the endosperm. The starch granules in endosperm are tightly packed in protein matrix. The main component of a grain is its carbohydrates that are present in the form of starch. The different processing related to rice grain are milling, parboiling, and fortification. There are a wide variety of products prepared from rice available in the market. Now let us see about the structure in detail. Hull. This is the outer protective layer of rice and it is made up of lignin and silica. The hull is mostly indigestible and so it is removed before the rice is used, and the process of removal of husk is called winnowing. At first, pestle and simple pounder was used and later rice hulling machines were invented to remove hulls from raw grains. This hull, though not consumed, is used in many ways like insulation material, hence it is rich in silica and used in cement and ceramic industry, and it is also used to seal cracks since it penetrates deeper than cement and sand mixture. Hull ash is also used to prepare umikari, a kind of toothpaste. It is used in the process of brewing, beer making, fireworks, and even as pillow stuffing. Now let us see about the pericarp or brawn. Pericarp is the outer layer of the green pigment which is present only in the pericarp layer and responsible for the color of rice. It comprises of outer and inner thick hypodermis. The innermost layer tears open during ripening to form the tube cells. The rice bran is removed during polishing of rice. With this, a portion of nutrients is also lost from the grain bran, which is rich in fiber and essential fatty acids. Its fat content ranges from 18 to 23% and it has similar percentage of proteins and starch. The oil from the rice is extracted and consumed as the rice bran oil, and it also contains antioxidants such as tocotrienols, oryzanol and beta-sterol, which helps in maintaining the blood cholesterol levels. Due to the fiber content, it is added to bakery products and in some places it is used as a detergent for cleaning dishes. The rice bran oil has gained popularity as it is used in cooking in many parts of Asia. The fat content in bran is considered as constrict for long shelf life since fat can become rancid. Thus, the bran is removed during polishing. Studies also indicate that the presence of arsenic in the bran, which is 20% higher than that found in water. The trend and knowledge about bran has improved in today's era. High bran food is most preferred due to its fiber content and body fat reducing property. Next, moving on to aileron layer. Aileron is outermost layer of the endosperm followed by the inner starchy endosperm layer. It lies between pericarp or bran and the endosperm layer, but its cells are biochemically and structurally different from that of endosperm layer. The cells can be similar, that is homogeneous, or different, that is heterogeneous. The aileron contains oils and fats that are used in seed development. It harbors about 30% of protein. It also acts as protective layer against external pathogens. It also nourishes the embryo, protects it during germination. The plant embryo produces hormone called gibberellins, which stimulates the hydrolysis of starch and storage protein to endosperm. This provides sugar to grow the roots, and hydrolysis is due to the release of alpha amylase by the aileron layer, and after this function the layer disintegrates. This mechanism of aileron layer is used in brewing process to produce malt. Next comes the endosperm. It is the innermost portion of the rice and it is majorly made up of starch granules along with some amount of proteins and fats around the embryo, and acts as a source of nutrients which form largest portion of grain. During pollination, sperm nuclei travel through the pollen tube to reach the embryo sacs, and the nuclei forms zygote fusing with egg, and other forms the endosperm fusing with bimolecular cell, and these cells have 3 sets of chromosomes and are called triploid. Here we can have a close view of endosperm. In some seeds, endosperm mature to form a storage tissue which encloses the seed called endospermus. The endosperm portion of rice grain stores starches which form the carapace, in which fruit and seeds are fused. Endosperm forms the most nutritive portion of the seed, thus it has important position in human diet, and the aileron form outer covering of endosperm and help in both storage and digestion. The endosperm contains 79% of carbohydrates, 7% of proteins, endless or negligible amount of fat, and the fiber content is also low when compared to bran and husk. Next comes the germ. The germ is also called the embryo, which is the fertile part of the rice bran that takes part in germination. The germ is removed along with pericarp during milling, and some amount of pericarp is retained, and the germ contains vitamin B, folic acid and some minerals. It is rich in essential fatty acids and more prone to rancidity. Hence, it is removed during milling and processing, and nowadays it is added in protein shakes, curds, cookies, etc. It is advisable to store germ in refrigerator and away from sunlight to prevent oxidation. The nutritive value of germ per 100 grams is that it contains 51.8 gram of carbohydrate, 10.7 gram of fat and 21.9 gram of protein. Carbohydrates in rice grain. Carbohydrates are widely present in plants and are formed from carbon dioxide during photosynthesis, and these are macromolecules which are mainly starch, protein, etc. In rice grain, the carbohydrate majorly present is in the form of starch. Now let us have a detailed look about the starch present in rice. Starch is a polymer packed in granules called starch granules. The molecule in starch are of two types, namely amylose and amylopectin. Amylase is made up of glucose units arranged in linear order through alpha 1,4 linkage, and they have many hydroxyl groups available for easy bonding. It forms a three-dimensional gel structure during gelatinization. It is responsible for gelatinization, pasting, retrogradation property of starch. Amylopectin is a branched chain with alpha 1,6 linkage. They impart different characteristics to food starch in comparison to amylase. 70 to 80% of total starch is in the form of amylopectin. The crystalline form of raw starch is the dry grains due to alignment of linear segment into micelles. The amylopectin are responsible for viscosity of starch with iodine, and amylase forms blue color while amylopectin gives red color. Coming to the effect of cooking on starch. Starch undergoes various changes when subjected to cooking. Starch can be cooked by dry heat or moist heat methods. When rice grains are cooked by dry heating, such as in case of roasting, dextrinization takes place, in which starch is broken down till dextrins are formed. As a result of this process, the starches lose the thickening property. They bring about surface browning, adding to color change, texture and flavor, etc. It also improves the process of digestion of starchy foods. When starches are subjected to moist heat, the starch granules take up water, walls are swollen and broken, and the starch moves out of the grains to mix with water to form a milky solution. At certain temperature, starch grain thicken and become viscous to form gel. This process is called gelation. On further heating, the solution turns translucent, forming a network held together by intermolecular bonds. This hot mixture, when poured in a mold and cooled, forms a firm structure which retains the shape of mold. This process is called gelatinization. When molded starch is kept for some time in refrigerator, some of the water starts oozing out of the structure. This process is called synergesis. This is due to slight contraction of the gel. When gels showing synergesis exhibit further realignment of amylopectin fraction to alter structure, the process is called retrogradation. Waxy starches do not exhibit retrogradation. It is observed only in few type of starch. Let us now move on to the next aspect, milling of rice grain. The rice or paddy is dehuled in a dehulling machine, giving rise to the brown rice, which is highly nutritious and contains all essential vitamins and minerals. But the brown layer on the brown rice contains more of fat, and therefore it becomes necessary to remove the brown layer for the better keeping quality. The brown rice is then run through two huller machines which removes outer brown layer of the grain by rubbing in between the hullers, inner wall and core. During the second cycle, the huller and the core are moved closer and the grains are passed again to exchange the total removal of brown layer, and the grain is then cooled as polished by a brush machine. Then in a reel, the broken kernel and white rice are shifted. The white rice is then coated with a glucose coat to increase the shine. Fortification or enriching. During processing, there is loss of considerable amount of nutrients found in bran and germ layers as they are removed. Thus, it is necessary to preserve the nutrients, and this is done in two ways. In the first process, the grain is placed in pressure so that all the nutrients in bran move into grain, and the other method is by parboiling of rice. Parboiling of rice. This process takes place in three steps: soaking, steaming and drying. During parboiling of rice, the paddy is soaked overnight and then steamed. During steaming, the gelatinization occurs. The amylose molecule reaches its surrounding aqueous medium. The kernels are gelatinized until fully translucent. Then the grains are cooled, during which retrogradation occurs, in which the amylase molecules are reassociated with each other to form a tightly packed structure. During parboiling, nearly 80% of the nutrients are absorbed from the rice bran into the grain, making the rice nutritious than raw polished rice. Parboiled rice takes less time to cook since it contains water in it already. This process had its origin in southern part of India in earlier days. This process is also done during dry heat, where the soaked grains are dry heated instead of steaming and dried. Rice are also fortified with certain nutrients in recent years. This process helps to make up some percentage of nutritional loss during milling and polishing. Now let us move on to the last part, that is the product from rice grain. Rice flour. Rice flour is prepared from raw rice. It can be ground in a blender or in a large scale produced in the mills. It is low in gluten and used as such to prepare common food items like rice rotis, dumplings, etc. Rice noodles are prepared by extruding the wet milled rice flour to make new products. Now let us have a look at the liquid products prepared from rice. Number 1. Rice bran oil. Oil can be extracted from the rice bran and rice germ, and this is known as rice bran oil. This oil is found to be rich in antioxidants and sterols. They are used in cooking. Its smoking point is around 200 degree Fahrenheit, and so it can be used in high heat cooking methods like deep fat frying. It is found to be free from trans fatty acids. Rice vinegar. In China and Japan, rice vinegar is produced. It has 4.5% acidity. It is available in clear pale yellow to shades of red or brown. Next is rice syrup. Rice syrup is prepared from cooked starch and is used as alternative sweeteners. Puffed rice. It is prepared by heating rice in the presence of steam under high pressure. It is used as a snack food and puffed rice cakes. Rice fermented food products. They are prepared in Japan and is added in Japanese soup. Rice starch. Rice starch is used as thickening agents in food preparations including infant formula. The granular size of rice starch is small. Wild rice stem. The stems of wild rice are used as vegetable in China. Non-food products of rice includes hull or husk. This constitutes about 20% of weight of fuel as filling in beddings, thermal insulation material incorporated in animal feed also. Rice bran is used as a feed for cattle. Rice bran wax is used in cosmetics and polishing compounds. Rice paper. It is a form of paper produced with rice straw and used for writing in China and Japan. Cosmetics. Rice is found to contain compounds that promote shiny hair and good skin, hence the extract from rice are now being used in face washes, creams, etc. in many countries. Medicines. The rice bran has high fiber content which helps in regulating the blood vessels and required for proper gut function by aiding the digestive system. The vitamin E in rice also acts as antioxidant on free radical and improving the aging process. Well students, to summarize the above said points, in this module we have learnt about the different parts of rice grain. Then many different genetically modified varieties of rice have been evolved in the past decade. There are varieties of high yielding crops and also varieties like the golden rice, which was a beta carotene enriched rice and has paved a way to new genetically modified crops. The knowledge from this module can prove beneficial for food and nutrition industries. Knowledge gained from this module can be used to come out with new innovations in food processing industries to minimize the wastage of nutrients. In case of polished rice, most of the B vitamins is removed during polishing and during parboiling. The nutrients are rendered intact and the losses are minimized. Similar studies and processes are need of the hour to provide wholesome nutrition. Thank you.